That is the time and the date. And it's dark. And I don't know how long I've got here, because I've got a couple of videos on here I want to upload. But I guess what I should talk about is a couple of things. One, let's sort this out. That's better. The issue of having personal customers. It's a note for Peckwig. Yeah, it's a pain in the bum. Case in point, my wife, she drives during the day, as we know. She suggested to me that somebody would be calling me at about 6 p.m. to pick them up and take them into the city. Now, it would have been a $100 fare. But when that sort of thing happens, what usually happens to me is I get somebody saying, or I get a job, and it's usually a $40, $50 fare. Well, there's a reason why I can't do something that's kind of been almost set up, but not set up. And the upshot is that it's just a pain in the bum. Having people that will expect you to be there, or it's just a pain in the ass, right? Or a pain in the ass. It's far better to get a job come through dispatch and then go and tend to it, because usually customers either want you to pick them up or meet them when you're not busy, when you are busy, and they never call you when you're not busy. It's just the way it is. I had some lads in here. As you know, I'm just going to do this. But I had some lads in here, and this is my car, okay? Oh, and it might need a clean out, but I got a call to go and pick some people up, and they had beer, bottles of bloody beer, and which was unusual because it was from sort of a residential area, one of the well-to-do areas, but they're probably the kids of rich people, and they assured me that those bottles of beer would not be opened. And I said, okay, all right, well, I'll let it go this time. But but one of the bottles was open because the fella sitting next to me in the passenger seat, he rocked his arm and accidentally spilt some beer. Now, most of it went on his legs, but as I've stated before, we're a premium taxi company or cab company, and as a result of which, because we have high standards and quality of service and all the rest of it, and we're supposed to get out and open doors and shit like that, we usually get the people that are, I've done wedding couples. I've had to, as you can see, I'm in the uniform and everything, the suit, tie. We've had I've picked up the bride and groom from the reception and taken them to the nuptials in a hotel, or taken them to the airport or something. And you've got to be careful, because you don't want people to think, you want people to use our service because we offer a high quality car, a high quality service and everything else. And you don't, people use us, they don't expect to get into a cab that's got a soggy seat with a background of aroma of vomit. or McDonald's salty fingers on the door handles and the stink of beer. You know, they don't want a cab that smells of McDonald's and beer, basically. So, in future, now, especially with this vehicle, if anybody turns up, if I got to pick people up and I see them walking down the driveway and they got bottles in their arms, they ain't coming in here. I got rid of the stink, but not without pouring a load of deodorant on the carpet, because some of it did get onto the carpet and the seat. I got rid of the stink of beer. It took a few hours and drove around with the windows open and the heater blasting away just to dry it out. Because as I say, my next customer could be high profile because of the sort of service we are. So there you are. I mean, that's not to say we don't not pick up anybody. I mean, you know, if we see somebody with a half-eaten cheeseburger and half a bottle of beer in the other hand, they don't come in here. That's not our sort of customer. You know, I'll give you an example of what I mean. Somebody came up to me one day and said, I can get that taxi over there, $35 to the airport on a cheap discount rate. I said, oh, that's nice. He said, why should I spend $70 on you taking me to the airport? And I said to him, well, can I ask you a question, sir? Are you flying economy or business class? He says, economy. What's that got to do with it? Or words to that effect. And I said, well, most of the customers that we carry are business customers, business class, first class customers. That sort of. So you might be, if you're more budget conscious, you'd be better off looking for the cheaper taxi. And he kind of went away and gave me a bit of a funny look. But there you are. I mean, that's just the sort of customers we chase. We're chasing the high-end customers. So that's why we are what we are. So there you are. So that's all I've got to say. And I mean, that might sound sort of snobbish, or it might sound as though I've got my nose in the air. It's not. It's just the way we are. That's why we're not affected by a lot of these cheap cabs, because we're sort of go for the more discerning customer. That's not to say we don't have some rich kids in here that are druggies. But I'm certainly very choosy. I mean, we often have people coming up and saying, you know, especially if I'm downtown, you know, $20 to such and such, and it might normally be a $30, $40 fare, and I'll say, look, why don't you just go with the cheap cabs over there, mate? Because what happens is, some of these people, especially the youngsters or whatever, they're trying to get a class car for a cheap rate. You know, if you want quality, if you want a good car, and you want quality of service and quality of professionalism, you pay a premium, and that's basically what you get when you get us. And a lot of people use us for that reason. So there you are. And if that sounds snobbish, well, there you are. Okay, all right. Hello to the fan family out in Australia, and toodly-doo for now. Ta-ta.